Count on LEX 18 News.
A sudden tragedy, what we've learned about the passing of Congressman Andy Barr's wife, plus the requirements pools will have to meet in order to open up this summer. And the image changing coming from a longtime food brand. LEX 18 News at noon starts now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dia Davidson. Chris Goodman has the day off. Thanks so much for joining us at noon. From central Kentucky to Washington, D.C., people are expressing their condolences to Congressman Andy Barr and his family after the sudden death of his wife, Carol, yesterday. Michael Burke is in downtown Lexington with the LEX 18 Big Story at noon.
A somber feeling remains here in Lexington and really all over Kentucky's 6th District as people come to terms with the sudden passing of Carol Barr. Kentucky's primary election season was shaken to its core last night when word began to spread of the passing of Congressman Andy Barr's wife, Carol. Shows of support and condolences came from both sides of the aisle, even from former political rivals, as politics and primaries took their rightful place in the back seat to the news that a father would now be raising his 2 young daughters alone after having to explain what happened to their mother.
This kind of event connects us to each other in a most unusual way, a most loving and kind way, and that would reflect Carol Barr for sure. People have just said what a kind and compassionate and extraordinarily good person she was. So we should commit ourselves as we feel this pain and difficulty to emulate her best example.
The outpouring of support and sympathy came from both sides of the aisle, which Bob said shows you what kind of person Carol was. It also shows that life and death, unfortunately right now, might be the only thing that leads us to nonpartisanship. In Lexington, Michael Burke, LEX 18 News.
Oh, the body of a Madison Central football player who disappeared in Harrington Lake has been found. Emmanuel Pruitt was swimming with friends a week ago when he got separated from the group and wasn't seen again. The Boyle County Emergency Management Director says rescue crews found his body last night in the lake. His body will be taken now to the medical examiner's office in Frankfort for autopsy. Pruitt would have been a senior this fall. A group of people gathered to support police officers in Kentucky who say they aren't being treated fairly. This happened yesterday in Louisville. They blame Louisville city leaders for tying their hands when it comes to how they control protesters. Connie Leonard has a story.
Again, these officers refuse to abandon the citizens in this city the way your elected officials have.
Saying they have more worries than the coronavirus, a big crowd gathered closely behind retired LMPD officer George Rodman, whose son, Officer Nick Rodman, was killed in 2017 in the line of duty. Rodman blamed Mayor Greg Fisher, Metro Council members, and the media for the unrest we've seen in the past couple of weeks.
Why are crimes being committed daily in the name of protests that would not be tolerated otherwise?
One of those crimes came to the police officers' memorial downtown.
With fallen officers' names on it, was vandalized due to the stand-down order. That's a slap in the face to every former, current, and fallen officer and their families. My son's name's on that wall.
Rodman says officers working long shifts without a contract are being spit on, attacked, and shot at.
Speak up! You gotta speak up!
Longtime officer John Keeling reminded officers to go to work, watch one another's back, and honor their oath.
With any profession, you got the good ones, you got the great ones, and you got the bad ones. All right? The bad ones are causing these uneducated, ignorant people to throw a blanket over the entire profession.
Former LMPD Major Todd Kessinger told us he likes the mayor, but says he's getting bad advice, has been in charge for too long, and needs to go back to what he learned in business.
Don't be a people pleaser. Don't pander to a certain segment of the community. Be a CEO. Run it like it needs to be run.
And that was Connie Leonard reporting. Rodman is calling on the mayor to either take back the city or step down. Senator Mitch McConnell says he's okay with renaming military bases that are named after Confederate Army officers. This stance separates him from President Trump and some other Republicans. The Kentucky Republican said yesterday he will live with whatever lawmakers decide as they debate an annual defense policy bill for the military in the coming weeks. Bases that have been discussed include Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Now to the latest COVID-19 numbers in our state and the nation. 12,829 Kentuckians have now been infected by the coronavirus, and 512 people have died. At least 3,431 patients have recovered from the virus. Nationally, the U.S. has now seen more than 2.1 million total confirmed cases, with over 116,000 deaths and more than 583,000 recoveries. Governor Beshear has released a set of guidelines that need to be met in order for pools, both private and public, to be able to reopen this summer. Some of the guidelines for reopening on June 29th include the elimination of saunas, steam rooms, and waiting areas. The number of people allowed in a pool will depend on that pool size, and any chairs on the deck would have to be spaced 6 feet apart on all sides. If pools meet these guidelines, they can open at the end of the month. Lexington Mayor Linda Gordon already announced public pools in Lexington must remain closed for this summer. We're going to put a link to the full set of requirements on our website, LEX18.com. Just find the story and you can take a look at them for yourself. Coronavirus pandemic prompting new concerns in states that are seeing spikes in cases. Florida and Texas both had a 2,600 case increase in just a single day. Health experts say it's because too many people are not following rules that keep everyone safe. Sam Brock reports.
Open elbow! Florida might be one of the country's newest coronavirus hotspots, but some folks desperate to get back to work are urging the state to allow all bars to reopen.
They're opening casinos, but we can't serve a beer.
Those calls coming days after this Hollywood, Florida social distancing fiasco. And 16 Jacksonville bargoers enjoying a night on the town and all contracting COVID-19.
I was one of those people that like, come on, it's not that serious, and I got it.
One healthcare worker who attended the bar sang on Facebook, "I should have known better. I should have been more cautious, but alas, it is what it is." Florida is currently riding a wave of cases, more than 13,000 in a week. The governor attributing the spike to more testing. But nationwide, the numbers in many places point up. 23 states have seen a rise over the last week, more than a dozen, a surge of 25% or more. That includes 4 states in triple digits: Montana, Wyoming, Hawaii, and Alabama, up almost 150%. In Arizona, cases hitting a new all-time high, almost doubling the state's previous record. The percentage of the population with the disease there, spots. Sadly, disparities in care there are also pronounced. This church has been used as a testing site.
Not having a hospital in this area, you have to drive 35, 40 miles to get to the hospital.
On a day, Texas hit record hospitalizations again. Governor Greg Abbott rejected a call from 9 Texas mayors, including Houston, Dallas, and Austin, for permission to require masks.
All of us have a collective responsibility to educate the public that wearing a mask is the best thing to do. Putting people in jail, however, is the wrong approach.
Protests for Florida's governor to do the same.
It's been definitively shown that wearing masks saves lives,
leading to a similar outcome.
At the end of the day, we should be trusting people to make good decisions.
A decisive move towards safety for Nevada's governor, stopping his state's next phase of reopening.
We're not in the post-COVID time. We're in the middle of a COVID-19 pandemic.
Some encouraging news this morning for younger people. New research just out shows that the odds of children and teens contracting the coronavirus is about half as likely as those who are 20 and older. Of course, there is still so much about this virus that we're learning. In Coral Gables, Sam Brock, NBC News.
Well, the U.S., Canada, and Mexico have agreed to keep their shared borders closed to non-essential travel until July 21st. Government officials from the 3 countries announced yesterday they are extending the agreement to limit border crossings during the coronavirus pandemic. The restrictions were first announced March 18th, then were extended in April, and then again in May. Amazon is rolling out new technology to help employees maintain social distance, and the company is planning to make the technology available to everyone. The camera system that Amazon calls Distance Assistance provide employees with real-time feedback on social distancing as they walk through a warehouse. The software uses machine learning models to differentiate people from their surroundings, as well as depth sensors to measure the approximate distance between workers. As employees walk past the camera, green or red circles on the monitor indicate whether they're maintaining proper distancing. And the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission has unanimously approved new rules limiting the numbers of whips on Kentucky racetracks. It's according to Way 3 News. New regulations state riders will be limited to 6 uses of their whips after the first furlong is run. Jockeys will also not be able to strike a horse twice in succession without allowing the horse a chance to respond. The new rules are not expected to go into effect until late this year or spring of 2021, meaning this year's Kentucky Derby and Breeders' Cup will likely be held under the current rules with unlimited whips.
Probably noticed the clouds getting thicker out there today. We have gone from mostly sunny this morning to almost overcast in spots, and it's in response to that wave of low pressure out east. You can see the swirl, you can see the cloud cover extending into the bluegrass. It's the most widespread in the eastern counties, and then you go out to sunshine as you head west. But along with that cloud cover, just a little bit of moisture spreading in. So we are still under the influence of this low that came through Sunday into Monday, parked itself in absolutely dumped heavy rain across the Carolinas, and is now slowly working back in our direction. So we're going to get one last swipe from this for the next couple of days, tomorrow and then a parting shot Friday, before we're finally done with it. We've got clouds on the thicker side. We'll stay probably mostly cloudy today, and a few showers out there. Look at the temperature difference. It's near 80 in Louisville. It's 60 out in Pikeville. And there will be that disparity in temperatures today due to the clouds being much more of an issue out east. Another coolish day. That upper low creeps in. A better chance for scattered showers and even a few thunder showers tomorrow. We'll talk about that and talk about why we're still cranking up the heat for your upcoming Father's Day weekend.
All right, Tom, thank you so much. Well, today marks 5 years since the Charleston church shooting. On June 17th, 2015, Dylan Roof opened fire during a Bible study session at Mother Bethel, the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in South Carolina. 9 people, including the pastor, were killed. Roof targeted his victims because of their race. He was convicted of murder and hate crime charges and was sentenced to death. To mark the 5-year anniversary, the people behind a documentary entitled Emmanuel are set to hold a discussion about racial injustice. The documentary explores a shooting and race relations in Charleston, a port city that served as a gateway to the African slave trade. The White House is suing its former national security advisor, hoping to delay publication of his tell-all book. John Bolton's book is scheduled to be released next week. The lawsuit seeks to delay its publication until after a special review process required of any author who had government security clearance. The lawsuit states Bolton began the review process but lost patience as it dragged on for months. It also seeks to force Bolton to forfeit any profit he makes from the book and instead put the money into a trust for the benefit of the U.S. government. The Aunt Jemima brand of syrup and pancake mix is getting a new name and image. The specifics have not been revealed, but Quaker Oats is reporting they understand Aunt Jemima's origins are, quote, based on a racial stereotype. The brand that has been around for 130 years features a black woman named Aunt Jemima, who was originally a minstrel character. Over time, the image changed, and more recently, Quaker Oats removed the kerchief from the character to combat growing sentiment that the brand was still a racial stereotype. Quaker says the new branding is an effort by the company to take steps towards racial equality. A California utility company is pleading guilty to killing 84 people in a 2018 fire blamed on the company's failing electrical grid. PG&E CEO Bill Johnson entered guilty pleas yesterday on behalf of the company for 84 felony counts of involuntary manslaughter. The Camp Fire in November of 2018 destroyed Paradise, California, about 170 miles northeast of San Francisco. Under a plea agreement, PG&E will pay a maximum fine of $3.5 million in addition to $500,000 to cover the county's costs of the criminal investigation. It might sound like a dream come true, a date with Keanu Reeves, and for the right price, it could be yours. Why the actor wants you to shell out some money to enjoy some good conversation, of course, via Zoom with him. But first, for our lottery players, Friday's Mega Millions jackpot amount sits at $26 million. Tonight's Powerball jackpot, $22 million. You got to play to win. Back in 2.
When I was in a wreck, it felt like my life was shattered into 1,000 pieces. So I called the Hammer.
I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs. We'll work hard to put the pieces of your life back together.
The Hammer got me $480,000. The Hammer solved the puzzle.
Call the Hammer.
No matter the weather, wind, rain, or storms, Mother Nature never takes a day off, and neither does Leaf Guard. Let's face it, clogged gutters can do damage from the roof to the foundation. Leaf Guard, the only seamless one-piece rainwater management system with a clog-free guarantee, and earned the Good Housekeeping seal 15 years in a row. And while you're staying home more, now would be a great time to eliminate those old gutter problems for good and save big during the $99 install sale. You buy Leaf Guard from us, we install it for $99. And choose 25 months no interest financing or $400 Lowe's gift card with purchase, your choice. And dinner to go, $50 gift card to one of your favorite restaurants. Call in also to ask about Refer A. Tell a friend about Leaf Guard, you get cash back. Tell enough friends, you get free gutters. Call now for your free estimate and dinner to go. Let me keep your gutters clean forever.
We have a man, one of the most powerful men in the world. He's one of yours. There's nobody tougher. There's nobody smarter. He's rock-ribbed Kentucky leader, Mitch McConnell.
I think there's nobody that's done a better job ever than Senator Mitch McConnell.
President Trump and Mitch McConnell delivering for Kentucky.
I'm Mitch McConnell, and I approve this message.
Life, it will batter you with wave after wave, but strength is forged in trial. In true faith, it anchors you.
Saturday at 7 on LEX 18.
At Morning Point Senior Living and Alzheimer's Memory Care, we are still welcoming new residents and enriching the lives of Central Kentucky's older adults. Morning Point offers personal care and memory care solutions so our residents can be taken care of in today's new normal. Our focus is on keeping everyone as safe as possible while providing medication management, physically distanced activity programs, delicious meals, assistance with daily living, and so much more. And we're now hosting virtual tours from our front porch. Call today to see all that we have to offer.
I was driving along and a woman T-boned me and took the front end of my car off. I was just terrified. All I could do was shake. I called the Hammer because I knew he was a fighter. He fought that insurance company and brought justice to me.
I'm attorney Darrell Isaacs, and I'll be there for you and your family.
You know, it hasn't felt much like June, but it's been pretty pleasant, and now we're starting to see trouble around the edges. That low that came through a couple of days ago and has swamped the Carolinas, well, it's back, and unfortunately, we're seeing moisture showing up on the max track. Now, a lot of this is aloft, but I am seeing a few reports of rain getting down to the ground. So you've got some showers that are primarily going to be across eastern counties. Shouldn't amount to much here in the bluegrass, but we've got quite a bit of cloud cover. And, of course, it's cooler. It's a little bit on the wet side and way out into eastern Kentucky. And that's going to be the trend because this wave of low pressure is only going to continue to ever so slowly approach. You can see it spinning and on the move and heading in our direction. And the upper level low is going to gradually work its way towards eastern Kentucky and then eventually start to curve back to the northeast. So Thursday will likely be our best bet for the most widespread chance for some scattered showers, even a few thunder showers. Combined with daytime heating, we should see those firing up. And then a parting shot as that low finally continues to weaken and lift out of here by Friday. So the LEX 18 Storm Tracker Future Track shows the surface low drawing closer. The showers that we're dealing with now out there, primarily out east. And then tomorrow, watch what happens from 9 a.m. on into the afternoon. Boom, right there. You can see those scattered showers and storms blossoming. Don't anticipate any kind of severe weather, but we could have some, locally heavy rain, even some small hail out of these and some gusty wind. Those diminish once the sun sets and that low continues to pull off to the northeast. So there's the possibility into Friday afternoon of a few showers and storms. And we could use some rain. It's getting pretty crispy out there. We are only at a half an inch of rain for the entire month of June. We're over a 2-inch rainfall deficit. In the last 24 days, we've only picked up 0.78 inches of rain. Out of Bluegrass Airport, we've got, pretty cloudy conditions compared to earlier this morning, and temperatures are running in the mid-70s. We'll be held probably mid to upper 70s for highs today. It's in the upper 70s near 80 out west, and it is only 60 degrees. Of course, rain cooled, showers around, and quite a bit of cloud cover in eastern Kentucky, so a split there. What's going to happen into the weekend? You see that blue? That's an indication of below normal temperatures. This slowly works its way out of here. It's been incredibly cool across the southeast, and that'll go away. Heat starts to build just as we get into your weekend, and the two warmest days that we've seen in a while are going to kick in Saturday and Sunday, which is interesting because, of course, Saturday is the beginning of summer, the summer solstice. The sun directly over the Tropic of Cancer. Summer begins, and it'll actually feel a bit like it. Not so much today, though. Highs in the 70s, mostly cloudy skies here, and yeah, those showers primarily holding out east. Will quiet down overnight, and then tomorrow, once that low approaches, we'll see that better chance for some scattered showers and storms. Friday, a few showers and storms hanging on as it finally pulls out of here. We'll take a break Saturday. The heat and humidity both rising, though, and for Father's Day, it's going to be hot as well. Upper 80s to around 90. We'll have to watch for a few late-day showers and storms. There's another frontal boundary dropping in that'll give us a much more widespread chance of showers and storms early next week.
All right, Tom, thanks very much, and happy Father's Day to you. 7-Eleven decides to cancel its free Slurpee Day this year, and some American companies will recognize Juneteenth as a company holiday. Jane King joins us now with today's Business Report.
U.S. Bancorp, Best Buy, General Motors, and Target will recognize Juneteenth, which celebrates the end of slavery in America, as an official company holiday on Friday. Some companies are giving employees the day off if they want. U.S. Bank will close branches early that day. Southwest Airlines will continue to limit the number of tickets it sells on each flight through September, so passengers will not be forced to sit in the middle seat. It's another sign the travel industry is not ready to return to normal flying anytime soon. It will also ask customers to agree to a health declaration saying they don't have any COVID-19 symptoms and will follow a mandatory face mask policy. Well, a new child care service is launching in all 50 states. Home Rule, a home care nursing company, is launching this nanny service division in all 50 states on the first day of summer, June 20th. Children are watched in the homes instead of in a close contact daycare facility. Care while many workers go back to the office, but school and daycares are still closed. And 7-Eleven is canceling 7-Eleven Day for the first time in nearly 20 years due to COVID. This was always on July 11th, but there is a way still to get free Slurpees. The company made the decision to cancel the promotion to avoid crowds, but it will still give out free Slurpee coupons that are valid from July 1st through July 31st. In New York, I'm Jane King with your business update.
All right, Jane, thanks so much. Let's take a look and see how stocks are performing at this noon hour. It's a mixed bag with the Dow down 11 points to sit at 26,279. NASDAQ Composite and S&P 500 both up 56 points to 9,951 and 3 points to 3127. Keanu Reeves wants to go on a virtual date with one of his fans for the right price, of course, and for a good cause. The John Wick and Matrix actor is offering a 15-minute Zoom call to the highest bidder. Now, all proceeds raised will go to Camp Rainbow Gold, an Idaho-based children's cancer organization. The date with the 55-year-old Hollywood icon was originally valued at $10,000. But as of this morning, the bidding was already more than $16,000. So if you're interested, you still have a few days to make a big bid. The auction ends on Monday. We've heard about the importance of taking care of our mental health during the coronavirus pandemic. But if you had to say how happy you are right now, well, the surprising results of a new survey and the positive statistic most researchers found interesting.
Summer's heating up and your HVAC system needs an Advantage. Advantage Air in Lexington will always try fixing your unit first. Don't get sold on a unit you don't need right now. Get the advantage of professional know-how and repair. Call today for a free estimate. Advantage Air in Lexington. Let's try fixing it first.
Remember, LeafGuard has earned the Good Housekeeping seal 15 years in a row. It's the only seamless one-piece rainwater management system, none of those rusty spots, with a lifetime transferable warranty. Take advantage of the $99 install sale. You buy LeafGuard from us, we install it for $99. Choose 25 months, no interest financing, or a $400 Lowe's gift card with purchase. And dinner to go, a $50 gift card to one of your favorite restaurants with your in-home estimate.
When people ask me why I'm a Democrat, I tell them this story. When I was a kid, my dream was to fly fighter jets in combat, but the law didn't allow women to do that. It wasn't until we elected a Democratic president with a Democratic Congress that the law was finally changed. That's when I learned that it was Democrats who were most committed to giving everyone a chance to compete fairly on their own merits and talents. Even still, as a woman in the military, I've had to fight the establishment my entire career. It's why what we're going through is so important. People who have always been locked out and left behind, from Kentucky's biggest cities to our smallest towns, are finally being heard. The system is broken, and we need a country that's fair and works for everyone. I'm Amy McGrath, and I approve this message because my life wouldn't have happened if Democrats hadn't given someone like me a shot. It's why I'll never stop fighting for you.
Yeah, you got this. So go on. Keno here. Keno here. Keno anywhere. Play Keno your way. Online or at your favorite Kentucky lottery retailer. Yeah, you got this.
30 seconds on the clock. Mimo has the ball. Here comes the double team. She's in a trap. Little Jack with the steal, and he's off on the fast break. Oh, wait, they've called a foul. Jack is livid. Jack may be headed to the showers.
This is a mother that won't hassle you about grandkids. The new Mother Cruncher chicken sandwich from Rally's. Crispy, crunchy white meat with all the mother-loving fixins, or the tangy bacon barbecue. Rally's Mother Cruncher chicken sandwiches, starting at $3.99. Get Rally's delivered.
Summer's heating up, and your HVAC system needs an Advantage. Advantage Air in Lexington will always try fixing your unit first. Don't get sold on a unit you don't need right now. Get the advantage of professional know-how and repair. Call today for a free estimate. Advantage Air in Lexington. Let's try fixing it first.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has announced changes to the social media platform ahead of the 2020 election. The social media giant is reporting it will let users completely opt out of political ads. The company promised to help register 4 million people to vote. Facebook also plans to have a voter information center. The feature will have information on how to register, voting by mail, and early voting. It will also feature posts from local election authorities. The center will be at the top of your news feed. Federal regulators want to know more about this week's massive T-Mobile outage. Monday's extensive outage left thousands of T-Mobile customers without cell or text service. The company blames faulty third-party equipment for the loss of service. The FCC has launched an investigation. Happiness has taken a hit because of the coronavirus pandemic. It's according to a new study by the University of Chicago. Researchers surveyed more than 2,200 people online and on the phone. They found only 14% of Americans say they are very happy right now. That's the lowest number taken in the past 5 decades. What's unique is this drop comes despite 80% of people also stating they are satisfied with their family's financial situation. That number is an all-time high. According to researchers, the findings suggest people are measuring their happiness based on their own psychological well-being. An official announcement about the U.S. Open tennis is expected today. As recently as June 2nd, the U.S. Tennis Association was still working on how to hold the tennis tournament in Queens. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said this week U.S. Open would take place as scheduled in late August, but without fans in attendance. More news is up after the break.
Remember, leaf guards attached to the fascia using our patented hanger system with screws, not nails. It's not coming down. It's not a gutter cover where they have to slide it onto the shingles, putting nails or holes in your roof that could void your roof warranty. Call to get Leaf Guard now. Take advantage of the $99 install sale. Choose 25 months, no interest financing, or a $400 Lowe's gift card with purchase. And if you call now, dinner to go from one of your favorite restaurants with your in-home estimate.
We have a man, one of the most powerful men in the world. He's one of yours. There's nobody tougher. There's nobody smarter. He's rock-ribbed Kentucky leader, Mitch McConnell.
I think there's nobody that's done a better job ever. Mitch McConnell.
President Trump and Mitch McConnell delivering for Kentucky.
I'm Mitch McConnell, and I approve this message.
I'm John Morgan. All lawyers are not the same. Some have never been to trial, and some need the money more than you do. Not our lawyers. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better with Fifth Third free checking.
Oh, we got free checking too. Just jump through this hoop. Really? There you go.
Hey.
Huh?
Nobody should have to jump through hoops for their money.
Wait, just a few more hoops.
Oh, there
Okay, that's good.
Really?
That's why we have no monthly service fees, no balance requirements, and no hoops.
No hoops is way better.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
The Kentucky Lottery, providing over $3 billion in grants and scholarships.
Everclean clog-free gutters.
This is the most important investment you've ever made, and Everclean clog-free gutters are the best way to keep it safe. Water is damaging. Never do this dangerous job again. The Everclean gutter is a lifetime solution. It never fails, and installation is safe because all of the work is done outside your home. Strong, proven, permanent. There's no substitute for Everclean clog-free gutters. Call for your free estimate today.
Everclean clog-free gutters. Call 259-1133.
Hi, I'm John Ramsey for Primax Composite Home Systems. Are your energy bills getting to you? According to the Department of Energy, 25 to 30% of your energy bill is going right out your windows. The Primax triple pane window can do the job making sure you have the best savings on your energy cost. For 38 years, Primax has been the leader in triple glass windows. Call today and get triple glass for the same investment as double. Go to chswindows.com or call 1-800-476-1966 for your free estimate. Like me, you'll be glad you did.
Be sure to keep up with LEX 18 News on the go. Download our LEX 18 News app. It's free. LEX 18 News at 12:30 is next.
Count on LEX 18 News.
A huge crowd lines up outside the Capitol hoping for help after weeks, even months of waiting on unemployment benefits. Plus, Breonna Taylor's family is asking a judge to help after allegedly being stonewalled by Louisville city officials. And Senator Mitch McConnell introduces the Republicans' plan for police reform across America. LEX 18 News at 12:30 starts now. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dia Davidson. We're going to get to the big story in just a moment, but first, an update from Congressman Andy Barr. Barr's wife, Carol, passed away last night, and Representative Barr just issued a new statement on the situation a few minutes ago. Take a look at his quote. It reads, "At this time of tremendous grief and pain, we ask for prayers for our beautiful, dear, and precious Carol, the greatest, most selfless and giving wife, mother, daughter, sister, and friend anyone could ever have. We also ask for love and prayers for Carol's greatest legacy, her loving and devoted daughters, Eleanor and Mary Clay, through whom Carol's extraordinary life, high character, and irrepressible spirit will continue. In this moment of profound grief and heartbreak, we are so grateful for the gift and blessing of Carol's life, for her strong faith in her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for the comfort of fond memories and her victory in heaven, and for all those who have surrounded Carol's family, the girls and I, with beautiful expressions of love, compassion, and sympathy," end quote. For the second day, hundreds of people are lined up at the state capitol hoping to get unemployment help. Many are fed up, telling us they haven't received any money months after applying for their benefits. LEX 18's Kylan Mills joins us now live from Frankfort with this update. Kylan?
Should I say we're near the Capitol Annex building? Tyler, would that be accurate? Afternoon, Dia. We are here in the parking lot near the Capitol Annex building, and some people here at the front of the line tell me they have been waiting since about 8 o'clock this morning, so more than 4.5 hours just to talk to someone to hopefully get their issues resolved. You're looking at the rest of the line right now. It looks like more than 300 people waiting to talk to someone from the state. Many are frustrated. They say they applied for UI benefits months ago and have yet to receive a dime. We've been reporting on issues with the state's unemployment system since this pandemic began. Governor Andy Beshear has said the state set up additional hotlines, hired more workers who've been working longer hours just to get these issues resolved. Yesterday, however, was the first time that they set up an in-person help center for people after there was a protest planned here on the Capitol grounds.
Kentucky was unprepared to handle the amount of responses that they had. I know Andy Beshear goes on every day at 5 o'clock and he talks about the things that's going on. And one of his topics is he'll mention the deaths, but what about the good news? What about the people that have gotten their unemployment or had their issues resolved? Or when are you going to help us?
Now, some of these people tell me they have returned to work as the state has been reopening over the last month, but still the bills are piling up. You know, even if people received a 30 or a 60-day grace period on utilities or rent, now for many people, months of rent or utilities are due coming up at the end of June or early July. So they are stuck in a tough spot. Some people tell me they don't know how they'll be able to get by if they do not receive back pay from the state. Of course, we'll have much more on this issue coming up in our newscast tonight. For now, we're live in Frankfort. Kylan Mills, LEX 18 News.
All right, Kylan, thank you. And don't forget to join me at 2 o'clock on our Facebook page for a Facebook Live Q&A chat on that and many other issues. Well, protesters attempted to block morning rush hour traffic in Louisville this morning. A group returned to Jefferson Street, blocking intersections at 5th and 6th Streets. Tow trucks were called in to remove vehicles. The protesters reportedly parked in the street while officers worked to disperse that crowd. Attorneys for Breonna Taylor's family claim the city of Louisville and the police department are unlawfully withholding records. WDRB obtained new paperwork in the family's wrongful death lawsuit, asking city employees be held in contempt for failing to turn over records related to the raid that ended with her being shot to death. Family attorneys claim police and city officials have ignored subpoenas and open record requests for her autopsy results and report, pictures, and any correspondence between police and prosecutors about her death. However, they claim those reports have been given to attorneys representing the city. Taylor's boyfriend is asking a judge to grant him immunity from being recharged with attempted murder of a police officer. A judge officially dismissed the charges against Kenneth Walker last month. Police say he fired at officers who raided Taylor's apartment back in March, seriously wounding one of them in the leg. Prosecutors dropped charges against Walker, saying they couldn't prove if he knew they were police and that he could be charged again if new evidence is found. Walker's attorneys hope a judge will decide to close the book on charges after reviewing the evidence. Senator Mitch McConnell is breaking from President Trump and some Republicans, saying he's okay with renaming military bases named after Confederate Army officers. Bases that have been discussed include Fort Bragg in North Carolina, Fort Hood in Texas, and Fort A.P. Hill in Virginia. The majority leader said yesterday he'll live with whatever lawmakers decide when they debate an annual defense policy bill for the military in the coming weeks. Also, Senator McConnell was among the Senate Republicans to unveil the GOP's police reform bill this morning. The Scott bill, headed up by Republican Senator Tim Scott, comes amid nationwide calls for action. It has several key parts, including requiring police to better report the number of no-knock warrants and use of force investigations, encouraging bans on chokeholds, except in life and death situations, penalizing departments that don't use body cams, creating a database of officers with disciplinary issues, and adding more training on de-escalation. Senator McConnell says he expects Democrats to act swiftly on this measure.
I'm going to file cloture on the motion to proceed. And our Democratic friends, if they want to make a law and not just try to make a point, I hope they'll join us in getting on the bill and trying to move forward in the way the Senate does move forward when it's trying to actually get an outcome rather than just sparring back and forth.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer called the Scott bill ineffective and demanded significant improvement. He also criticized McConnell for moving on judicial nominees before taking up the police bill. Prosecutors are expected to announce their decision on charges for the two men involved in a deadly police shooting last week. Officer Devin Bronson and former officer Garrett Rolfe were investigating Rashard Brooks for a suspected DUI Friday night. Investigators say Rolfe shot Brooks twice in the back after Brooks struggled with them, took a taser and raised it in their direction. Rolfe was fired and Bronson was switched to administrative duty. We'll be looking for updates from Atlanta and bring you the very latest when we get it. Lexington police have charged a man with shooting his own brother Tuesday night. They say it happened around 9 on Atia Place, just off Winchester Road and New Circle Road. Officers say they arrived to find the 30-year-old victim with several life-threatening wounds. They tell us witnesses identified the younger man's brother as 25-year-old Cameron Fisher as a shooter. He was arrested at a home on Alexandria Drive on an assault charge. 21 states are reporting an increase in new COVID-19 cases, including Florida and Texas, which set new records for most cases in a single day. Texas confirmed nearly 4,100 new cases Tuesday. Florida, which is expected to host a Republican National Convention, the NBA and WNBA in coming months, confirmed more than 2,700 cases. Harvard researchers say the U.S. needs to do at least 20 million tests per day to safely reopen by late July. The current rate is roughly 500,000 tests daily. Several Oklahoma attorneys have filed a lawsuit to stop President Trump's Tulsa campaign rally on Saturday if proper social distancing guidelines aren't required. Yesterday, a judge denied the emergency motion. Now the state Supreme Court will have to weigh in. Some of them believe the rally will increase the spread of coronavirus. The Tulsa Health Department reported the area has been a recent uptick of cases in that area. The attorneys want the venue's management to mandate the use of face masks and social distancing rules for all people attending the rally and for those working the event. The Trump administration says masks will be provided, but no one will be required to wear one. The U.S. Army is going online in an effort to recruit thousands of new soldiers. This is the Army's first nationwide virtual hiring campaign. The goal is to recruit 10,000 new soldiers to serve in 150 different occupations. According to its website, those who enlist during this time could receive an extra $2,000 bonus or a 4-year scholarship. To enlist, you must be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident between the ages of 17 and 34 and have graduated from high school or received your GED. You must also meet medical and physical requirements, among other things. The Army hiring days wraps up July 2nd. Well, since early April, Nourish Lexington has reported it has passed out more than 67,000 meals since the pandemic began. The initiative was made to utilize the talents of restaurant workers out of work due to the COVID-19 crisis. According to the program, beginning next week, dinner meal distribution will move to a single location at Food Chain on West 6th Street. Meals will no longer be distributed at Copper Row after this week. Nourish Lexington is fueled by donations from community partners and members of the public.
Things are slowly changing up for us. You've probably noticed that it got a bit cloudier as we've gone through the morning and now into the early afternoon. Mostly cloudy to at times partly cloudy, depending on the time and the location. The farther west you are, the more sunshine you're going to see. And as you head east, a completely different story. That's how it looks out of Keeneland. That's the swirl of low pressure that is still off to our southeast. And there's the cloud cover that has been steadily on the rise through the morning. And yes, there are some showers associated with those clouds. They're fairly light, and they're all east of I-75, but we may even see an isolated shower punching here into the bluegrass later on this afternoon. A number of reports of some light rain as you head east, and of course it's cooler, and the clouds are even thicker in our eastern counties. The future track shows those showers largely holding out to the east, though. Problem is that low is steadily approaching, so we've got a better chance, especially into tomorrow. Check this out. It's near 80 in Louisville. It's 60 degrees in Pikeville. Quite a spread temperature-wise, thanks to the extra cloud cover in the showers out east. And over the next 3 days, we will gradually warm it up. But we've got to get through this last gasp from that upper low that'll throw those showers and storms our way Thursday and then Friday. Coming up, we'll check out that Father's Day weekend forecast.
All right, Tom, thank you. North Korean state television today broadcast footage of the demolition of the Inter-Korean Liaison Office just over the border in North Korea territory. Yesterday's destruction of several offices is a move which further raised tensions between the two rival countries. The offices, which were set up in 2018, are empty at the time of the destruction. The site had been effectively a strain between the two nations. North Korea says it will reinstall guard posts and resume military exercises at frontline areas, essentially nullifying the tension-reducing deals reached with South Korea just 2 years ago. India is claiming at least 20 of their soldiers were killed after a clash with Chinese troops at the two countries' border this week. It happened in a stretch of the Himalayan mountains, which is claimed by both countries, but largely under Chinese control. India initially reported 3 deaths, then said another 17 soldiers died due to the high altitude and sub-zero temperatures. The two nuclear powers have reportedly been building up forces at the border point for weeks and accusing the other of overstepping its bounds. The U.S., Canada, and Mexico have agreed to keep their shared borders closed to non-essential travel until July 21st. The three countries announced Tuesday they are extending the agreement to limit border crossings during the coronavirus pandemic. The restrictions were first announced March 18th and were also extended in April and then again in May. Still ahead at 12:30, one of Gatlinburg's pulse-pounding tourist attractions is back open after a bit of a scare. Going to show you how horseplay led to damage and a shutdown at the city's Sky Bridge after the break.
It's unprecedented. We have many, many households that are coming to us for the first time, and they're not sure where to turn. They're not sure what to do. What we're trying to do is provide a little sense of hope so that people can still have a nutritious meal during these very uncertain times.
Hope over hunger, in partnership with Comfort Heating and Air. This portion of LEX 18 News is brought to you by Aurora Pools, Spas, and Patios, and by Audiology Associates.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we know everyone has their favorite spot. It's the Father's Day sale. Right now only, you can save on recliners, starting from $3.99. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
If you've been wrongly injured, then time's not on your side. The law limits the time you have to file a lawsuit. If you wait too long, then your right to recover money for your injuries may be lost. Call Becker Law now. Just dial 3s.
Dr. Duty has been my eye doctor for decades. Everything was fine, but the last few years I developed a cataract. He did a great job. His staff did a wonderful job, and I'm very thankful for him because I can see much better, and it's worked out very well. The multifocal lens will adjust so that you can see up close and read, and also distance so you don't need reading glasses. And I could highly recommend Dr. Duty for anybody needing cataract surgery.
For details, visit cataractsplus.com.
Have a news tip? Line 381-1801 or email us news@lex18.com.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we know everyone has their favorite spot. It's the Father's Day sale. Right now only, you can save on recliners, starting from $3.99. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
So Sunday into Monday, this wave of low pressure came through here through some storms our way, some pretty good hail out of some of them, and then it went away. It went down to the Carolinas, swamped them, and now, guess what's back? We're on the western edge of it, but there are some pretty good showers that have made their way into eastern Kentucky. We've got quite a bit of cloud cover to go along with it, and yes, some rain has worked its way into the picture. You can see as you drop off to the east, though, that telltale swirl of low pressure. It is ever so gradually drifting back in our direction. So it's the low that just won't go, and unfortunately, it is still a feature in our forecast for the next couple of days. As that upper low slowly tracks off towards the Commonwealth, it should be pretty much right over eastern Kentucky tomorrow. In a weakening state, but still sufficient enough to spark probably an afternoon round of scattered showers and storms in not eastern Kentucky, but more centered into the bluegrass, since the center of that low is going to be a little closer to the eastern Kentucky area. Now, into the day after, Friday, that low will start to gradually lift out of here. It will finally be done with it after almost a week, but it'll move off and we'll start to clear things out heading into the weekend. But here's how it looks. The surface low, slowly tracking off to the west-northwest, so some of the showers we're seeing right now should primarily stay over eastern Kentucky. But as you get into tomorrow, keep an eye out. That's where we'll have that better chance between the low approaching and scattered showers and storms developing, or daytime heating will pop those scattered showers and storms, the development of them. So some active weather for your Thursday, something we haven't had to deal with the last couple of days. And then a parting shot, a glancing blow from a few showers and thunder showers Friday as that low finally lifts out of here and is gone. Mostly cloudy skies to partly sunny, depending on your location. There's more cloud cover east. We're in the mid-70s, so yeah, we'll be in the mid to upper 70s for highs today, unless you're into eastern Kentucky where it's still in the 60s. It's 60 and raining in Pikeville. It's mostly sunny and near 80 in Louisville. So the forecast highs gradually rise, and yes, we are going to get back up into the upper 80s. I mean, this has been a week where summer just has been non-existent. It has been so unusually cool. And today, no different. Our average high is 84. We're going to be mired in the 70s probably today and tomorrow. In addition to the heat rising this weekend, we will start to see the humidity bubbling up. It's been fairly comfortable lately. We've had dew points in the 50s. It'll edge into the 60s, so you'll start to feel that tinge of mugginess start to get a little more humid as we head into the upcoming weekend. And I guess that's appropriate for the heat and humidity to both climb because the summer solstice is this Saturday, the beginning of summer, and then Father's Day follows. So partly to mostly cloudy. Watch for those showers into our eastern counties. I don't think that we're going to see much here in the bluegrass, but tomorrow we will. We'll have some of those scattered showers and storms developing. It'll primarily be into the afternoon. Now, over the weekend, the heat climbs. We've hit 90 already, so this is nothing new for us, but yeah, we will definitely warm up. And by the end of the weekend, watch out for a few late day showers and storms. Father's Day, if you're making plans to be outside, a lot of barbecuing usually going on that time of the weekend there with Father's Day. But we've got a more widespread round of showers and storms tracking our way. Monday, we could use a more widespread hit, and hopefully that's exactly what we'll see.
All righty, Tom, thank you. With COVID-19 restrictions being eased, some are preparing for summer vacations, but experts are urging more precautions for those hitting the road soon. The executive director of Kentucky Travel Guide spoke with WPSD in Paducah. She says you should always bring your mask and hand sanitizer while traveling. Before you head out, make sure there's not a lot of cases in the area where you're heading. And always social distance, staying at least 6 feet apart. Paris's iconic Eiffel Tower is due to reopen next week for the first time since France went into lockdown in March. That's the landmark's longest closure since World War II. France's tourism industry is opening back up, but the tower will not immediately welcome visitors the way it did before the shutdown. Few people will be allowed in when the Eiffel Tower reopens and social distancing signs are posted. If you're heading to Gatlinburg this summer, you should know that the city's epic suspension bridge is back open. Now, the Sky Bridge in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, opened just a year ago, but had to close Monday night when a guest cracked one of its glass panels. Officials say the guest tried a baseball-style slide across the glass and chipped it with a piece of metal on its clothing. That caused noticeable cracks on the protective top layer of one of the glass panels. Park says no one was hurt, no guests were in danger, and it has since reopened. Still ahead, movie theaters have been cleared to reopen in Kentucky for 2 weeks, but major chains are just now rolling out their plans, transforming the movie-going experience in the weeks and months to come. Next on LEX 18 News at 12:30.
Smoking damaged my heart. Now I have a battery-operated heart pump. My tip is, stop thinking this can only happen when you get old. My heart failure happened at 38.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
2018, Amy McGrath lost a winnable House race. Then, she supported putting Brett Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court. Now, she's running as a pro-Trump politician. I'm Mike Breuer, and the people of Kentucky cannot afford 6 more years of Mitch McConnell. I'm a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel. I've taught in our public schools, and I'm a farmer. I'm not Washington, D.C.'s candidate. I'm Kentucky's candidate. I'm the real Democrat, and I approve this message because I'm the only candidate who could defeat Mitch McConnell.
Hey folks, this is Duke Owens, General Manager here at Cartown Kia. Our brand new facility will be done soon, but I got nowhere to park my cars, so we're continuing our construction reduction sales. And payments have never been lower. For example, this 2020 Kia Soul, or this 2020 Kia Forte, or this 2021 Kia Seltos, 0 down, $199 a month. Don't forget, 0% interest. Come see us during our construction reduction sale or look us up online at cartownkiausa.com.
Meet Tom. The brains behind the Kentucky Lottery's new draw game. Cash Pop. One number wins it every 4 minutes. Play Cash Pop. New from Tom at the Kentucky Lottery.
I'm Charles Booker, and I'm running for United States Senate. And I approve this message.
Have you been on the ground in Louisville with the protesters the last 3 days, Ms. McGrath?
I have not.
And why?
Well, I've been with my family, and I've had some family things going on.
I stand before you as your brother, as your cousin, as your neighbor, as your fellow good troublemaker. My name is Charles Booker.
Some things can't be put on pause. Your checkups, your consults with specialists, your life-changing procedures. That's why we're adapting quickly to make our hospitals and clinics even safer for you and to give you more convenient ways to connect with the care you need at Kentucky's #1 hospital. That's how we're meeting this moment for you and for the health of all Kentuckians. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Have a news tip? Then call the LEX 18 News tip line.
Welcome back to LEX 18 News at 12:30. Hollywood has shifted quite a bit since the pandemic began, moving more new releases to digital instead of the silver screen, which had been shut down due to the virus. But now most states are giving the green light to the big screen. NBC's Joe Fryer shows a Cinemark's plan for reopening their nationwide theaters.
As they prep for reopening, major theater chains are writing a new script for the movie-going experience.
How excited are you to reopen?
Joe, I can't tell you. We are really excited. And there'll be plexiglass up.
Mark Zarate is CEO of Cinemark, one of the top theater chains in the country and the first national brand to relaunch. On Friday, opening a handful of theaters in Dallas, and by mid-July, more than 300 theaters across the country, all with new health protocols.
We've really gone the extra mile to make this a healthy and safe environment for our guests.
Employees will undergo wellness and temperature checks and wear masks. Floor stamps and plexiglass barriers will keep people socially distanced in high-traffic areas. More fresh air will be circulated, with theaters disinfected every morning and between shows. To maintain social distancing in their theaters, Cinemark will stop offering first-come, first-served seating. Instead, all guests will need to reserve their seats in advance, and the system will block out seats around you so all parties are spaced at least 6 feet apart. By the end of June, movie theaters will be allowed to reopen in at least 31 states, with some local chains already back in business with strict safety measures. National chains like AMC and Regal announced similar precautions as they plan to reopen by mid-July, just in time for the first big studio releases of the summer.
I need you to learn what a bad day really is.
Like the Russell Crowe thriller Unhinged, opening July 10th.
Yet here I stand, proof that there is a place for people like us.
Disney's live-action remake of Mulan on July 24th.
What the hell happened here?
Hasn't happened yet.
And Christopher Nolan's sci-fi blockbuster Tenet on July 31st. But with 70% of moviegoers now saying they'd rather watch new releases at home, will audiences be willing to return to theaters?
Is there any worry at all that people are going to say, nah, I don't need the theater anymore, I can get it all at home?
You know, I don't think so. I think people want to go and have a shared cinematic experience in a big theater.
If I expose her, I will.
That's Joe Fryer reporting. JCPenney will begin going out of business sales at 137 stores today, including a number right here in Kentucky. The discounts range from 25% to 40% off original prices store-wide. All sales will be final starting June 25th. Now, keep in mind, this is just the first round of closings. The bankrupt retailer is expected to shut down about 30% of its locations, 242 stores for good. They include 6 in Kentucky. Stores in Campbellsville, Danville, Hopkinsville, Maysville, Middlesboro, and Owensboro. Your pet of the day is next.
I've been a Marine, an astronaut, and led NASA under President Obama. But after she inspired thousands of young girls across the country, I just say I was Amy McGrath's commanding general. I've known Amy since she was a young midshipman at the Naval Academy, and I flew with her on an F-18. You have the chance to vote for someone really special in Kentucky, part of a new generation who can fix a broken Congress. Our country needs Amy.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Amy McGrath, and I'm honored to approve this message.
Everclean clog-free gutters.
This is the most important investment you've ever made. And Everclean clog-free gutters are the best way to keep it safe. Water is damaging. Never do this dangerous job again. The Everclean gutter is a lifetime solution. It never fails. And installation is safe because all of the work is done outside your home. Strong, proven, permanent. There's no substitute for Everclean clog-free gutters. Call for your free estimate today.
Everclean clog-free gutters. Call 259-1133.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better. So we always put 166.7% into everything we do.
Technically, you can only give 100%.
Well, technically, we have a state-of-the-art mobile banking app, fee-free ATMs, and great customer service.
I stand corrected. 166.7% is possible.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
Anthony is her biological father. If we don't tell her now, we become a part of the lie.
What's happening?
There's no easy way to say this.
Council of Dads, new Thursday on NBC.
Where are the paintings that I was promised?
Steal priceless works of art at the behest of a maniac.
I can't believe we're breaking in.
We don't have a choice. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of our faith.
The LEX 18 Pet of the Day is brought to you by Feeder Supply.
And today's Feeder Supply pet of the day is Caramba, a 1-year-old Beagle Collie mix. He's looking for a home with only adults, no apartments, please. If you're interested in Caramba, a meet and greet is required if you have other dogs. You can find Caramba at the Everyday Adoption Center inside PetSmart in Hamburg. Thanks so much for joining me at 12:30. Remember, the governor is speaking at 4, so you'll catch it right here.